Hello children, today we are going to discuss the rest part from simple future tense. The rest part are forming negative sentences, forming question words. Okay, forming questions using question words and yes no question. First, forming a negative sentence. Children, as I told you before that I and we always take shall with them. Okay, I, we, shall, then not, then the best form of the verb okay. For example, I shall not take rice in the dinner. Okay children, you can see I is here, so that I use shall, then the negative that is not, then the best form of the verb. It is the best form of the verb, and then the rest of the sentence. Now we shall not play cricket in the field. Okay, here the subject is we, so that shall is used, then the negative, then the best form of the verb, then the rest of the sentence, right? When I or we there, we must use shall, then not. For forming a negative sentence, then the best form of the verb, then the rest of the sentence. Okay, now except I or we, except I or we, will is used in negative sentence. Okay, example, they will not come today. She will not go to her uncle's. Ram will not swim in the pond. Okay children, you can see except I or we must use will with it, and the negative sentence, negative, that is not here, they will not come today. Okay, they is the sentence. Okay, they is the subject, so will is used, then the negative, then the best form of the verb. In sentence 2, you can see she is there, she is here, so that will is used, then not, then the best form of the verb, and the rest of the sentence. Here Ram is the subject, so that we use will with it, then the not, the negative, and the best form of the verb, then the rest of the sentence. Okay, except I or we, will is used in this sentence. Okay, except I or we, when we are going to form the negative sentence, except I and we must use will, then the then not, then the rest of the sentence. Okay, now forming questions using question word. Okay, using question word. What are the question word? What, which, who, where, how, etc. These are the question word. How to form question using question word. Children, I told you that where there is I or we, shall is used. Okay, for question word, for when we are going to forming a question, first of all WH word, then I or we, then shall, then the base form of the verb, then the rest of the sentence. Okay, now take some example. What shall we do with the books? Okay, children, clearly you can see shall I use because of we. Okay, first is the question word, then shall because of we, then the base form of the verb, then the rest of the sentence. Where shall I park the car? Okay, where shall I park the car? Shall, why I use here shall? Because of the subject is I. Okay, so I used shall, then the base form of the verb, then the rest of the sentence, and at the beginning I use the WH word where. Okay, now let us see except I or we, will is used. First WH word plus except I or we, that means he, she, they, any name, Ram, Shyam, Ram and Shyam. Then we use shall, will, then we use will, then the base form of the verb. Example, what will you do with the gun? Okay, and the question mark. What, where will they go in the evening? What will Ram read in the evening? Okay, children, you can see will is there because of the subject is you. Okay, will is here because of they. Okay, then will is there because of the subject is Ram, and at the beginning we use a WH word. Okay, first WH word, then will or shall, that is depending upon the subject, then the best form of the verb. Okay, do is the best form of the verb, here go is the best form of the verb, and read is also the best form of the verb. Then the rest of the sentence. Okay, now let us discuss with framing yes no question. Okay, how can we form a yes no question? Children, for yes no question we must use shall or will depending on the subject, then best form of the verb, and then the rest of the sentence. At last we must put a question mark. Okay, for example, shall I eat the mango? Children, I told you that I and we always take shall with them. Okay, here I is there, so that I use shall, then the best form of the verb, then the rest of the sentence. Okay, shall we visit Puri on Sunday? Shall we visit Puri on Sunday? Because of we, shall is used, then the best form of the verb, then the rest of the sentence. At last we are putting a question mark. Now except I and we must use shall. We must use will. Will you eat rice in dinner? Will they obey my words? Will she go home at night? Children, you can see I use will. Why? Because of the subject. You is there, so that I use will. They is here, so that I use will. She is here, the subject is she, so that I use will. And after that, the best form of the verb. Okay, then the rest of the sentence. Okay, now children, let us do some question and answer from your textbook. B, exercise B, we have to make question. Okay, the question is convert the sentences into questions beginning with the question words given in brackets. Okay, use the simple future tense. Now, the lake will freeze in winter, using when we are going to make the question. Okay, when, then what should we use? When will the lake freeze? Okay, and at the end the question mark. Alia and Wasim will go to the fair. Where will Alia and Wasim go? And the question mark. Kunal will swim in the pond and fetch the plastic ball. Okay, using who? First the question word, then will or shall depending on the subject. Who will fetch? Who will fetch the? Who will swim in the pond and fetch the plastic ball. Okay. Number 5, Mahesh and Uma will attend the wedding. We need to make question sentence using who. The question word who. Who will attend the wedding? Okay, and the question mark at the end of the sentence. All the students will score well in the test. Using how many? We are going to make the question. How many students will score well in the test? Okay, how many students will score well in the test? Okay, now see, convert these sentences into yes no questions beginning with shall or will. Okay, children. Number 2, no, Prabhu will not break this vase. As I told you before, first of all, when we are going to making yes no question, will or shall is used at the beginning of the sentence. Will Prabhu break this vase? And at the end the question mark. Will, then Prabhu, then the base form of the verb and the rest of the sentence. Yes, we shall reach before them. Shall we reach before them? Okay, shall we reach before them? Number 4, no, my cousin will not return from Ranchi tomorrow. Will your cousin return from Ranchi tomorrow? Okay, first will, then year. We can write my also, but it will very much suitable since it's a question. No, my cousin. Will your cousin return from Ranchi tomorrow? Okay, here also we can change. Yes, we shall reach before them. Will they? Since it's a question, the answer is we. Yes, we shall reach before them. Will they reach before them? This one also correct. Okay, will your cousin return from Ranchi tomorrow? Yes, my exams will begin next month. Will your exams begin next month? And at the end we must put a question mark. No, they will not sleep in the house. Will they sleep in the tree house? Okay, children, that's all for today. Children, that's all for today. Write down whatever I have written on the whiteboard in a notebook and do the rest of the answers yourself. Take care.